This is not a test. This is rock and roll.
I wake up every morning in a bed that's too small, drive my daughter to a school that's too expensive, and then I go to work to a job for which I get paid too little.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. We can stay up late, swapping manly stories, and in the morning, I'm making waffles.
You're waking up with the Morning App on 90.5 WASU.
Good morning. It's the Morning App on 90.5 WASU, and it is the All Men Show. It is, as we've been calling it all week long, the Morning Men. Please, whatever you do, do not change this radio dial. I swear, we will not be talking sports. We're just going to give our opinions. We're human beings, and we're here to just talk to the people.
We are human beings.
We are, and we're not going to talk sports. We're not going to just throw that in your face. A lot of us are sports guys, but please.
This is men getting emotional right here.
Yes, we're being
This
vulnerable.
Exactly. Not even that. Just let us talk
we're
about
just
life.
letting us be.
Exactly.
Letting us be.
Everything in life isn't sports, man.
Exactly, and
If
that's
I'm
why.
up at 8:01, the last thing I want to do is argue. I just want to talk, bro.
Well, we are going to get into a little bit of argument later
Right.
for our pointless debate, of course.
Oh, of course.
But happy to welcome into the studio, of course, Gray, Scott, Mackie, as we all know him, the host of the Mackie Move here on 90.5 WASU every Monday
Appreciate
night
that.
at 9. Correct?
Yeah, I
Yep,
appreciate that.
There you go. Got to give him a shout out. But ultimately, guys, it's going to be a great show. We're talking, we got some axes going on. We got some other news here on campus that we're going to be going into. Relationship topic, we're tackling that today. I know Katie, Natalie, and Dovey all left us with several topics, and we may go towards them. We may actually talk about their topics, but we may go in a completely different direction, and I'm ready. So ultimately, guys, after today, it's spring break. And I want to know from you three men, as I'll be referring to you all day long, what are you guys doing for spring break? For me, I'm working with the women's basketball team, so I got to be traveling maybe 2 days at home. But I'm not doing much. I wish I had a longer time.
I'm not doing anything. I don't know. So, like, my spring break starts, pretty excitingly. I am getting my car inspected and registered today.
Oh.
And then next week, I am working as a dishwasher. And that's my spring break.
That's
yeah.
big time.
I know.
Make some money.
I'm living life. Yeah, I am making some money. It's fun.
Rest a
Call
little bit.
a few games, like softball and basketball games, but I've never been a spring break travel person. It's just I'd much rather just work and save money for the summer.
That's what I did. I went home last year and really enjoyed that, just spending time with family. But this year I'm going to Chattanooga with our UF club here on campus.
Okay.
Leaving tomorrow, Saturday to Saturday. Should be a fun time. We're going to help a community just be kind of extra hands and feet in East Chattanooga, a place where they do some sustainable development. We're going to do kind of various things. with
Wow.
them, and so I'm excited for it.
Scott's Pickard, man.
Yeah, we're just going
So,
home.
yeah,
and
Scott, you're a
Scott's-
good person, man.
He's a very good person.
I'm going home, but home for me is Wilmington, Wrightsville Beach. So I can kind of make home into a spring break-esque type of thing. That's what I did last year. It worked out fun, and so that's what we're doing again this year. My family has a condo actually on Wrightsville Beach that normally we try to get when we do stay down there, we can still park there and stuff, but we try to get it for a few days, extended, just to be able to like stay down there. But this year we actually can't because the hurricane that went through Wilmington, damage is actually like still being repaired there, y'all. It's pretty crazy.
Really?
Like in certain spots, yeah. And so the condo complex that my place is in Wrightsville Beach is like still completely under construction. I called my grandpa and he was like, no, like there's literally no way we can get anybody in there still because they're still like fixing up the walls, like because water was like leaking down in the walls and stuff. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, still some hurricane repairs going to keep me from getting the family condo for spring break this year.
How long ago was that? That was
September.
what,
Yeah.
Was it September?
Yeah,
Oh
it's been a while.
I'm sure they've been
What are they
stretched
doing?
pretty thin, though. Like, if you think about, like,
Yeah.
all the companies that are trying to, do their part in different areas, I mean, probably everybody in town had them on the phone the next day, so.
Yeah.
And I would assume a lot of, like, companies pull out after a certain amount of time after. How you have, like, extra utility vehicles come down? Like, we had, like, vehicles from Ohio come down to help with Hurricane Florence and stuff. I mean, after a few months, the people that come from other states have to start dispersing a little bit, and then the hands just get less and less unless it's volunteers, unless it's like what Scott doing in Chattanooga. and
Yeah,
people
Scott,
go,
maybe,
"Well,
maybe
you
we
going to
could use your
Wrightville?"
help in Wilmington, dude.
Well, I think also kind of after the emergency of a disaster, like kind of the few weeks following a hurricane, like something severe, after that, there's that phase of just the emergency help of people going and going and going. And now it's almost a year later, or where are we? February? It's
Yeah,
just a
6
long
months or
time
so.
later. And people forget about it.
Right.
But there's still need.
Yeah,
So,
I was like, dang,
hard.
did the standard construction people go down to Wrightsville? Because something's going on there.
Yeah. No,
All that delayed
it,
work.
It really has felt that way. I mean, I've seen them, like, I've driven by and, like, gone through there and parked there still. And, I mean, we can still, like, park and go to the beach, which is nice. But, yeah, it's crazy. Like, the place is still kind of a mess, to be honest.
Yeah. Dang. Well, I mean, at least you'll get to go to the beach.
Yeah,
That's
no
something.
complaints. Although the thing is, Wilmington is supposed to be like rainy and like 60 or lower every day. So I don't know how much of a
That's
spring
familiar
break that's
to
really
us.
going to be.
Yeah,
Probably going to use
I
the
think
time just to catch up on some sleep and get everything back together.
I think it's nasty weather on like the whole eastern seaboard at this point for this upcoming week. I mean, if I went home, so I'm from Salisbury, not quite as glamorous as Wrightsville Beach, but I don't know. I think the weather would be about the same.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, I would much rather stay in Boone where it rains than stay in Salisbury when it rains. So.
I've heard the hot take for a lot of spring breaks this year, at least. I think this happens a lot every year, but I've heard a lot of people, like especially around my friends, going on cruises. I think cruises are like super affordable for like the amount of time you're traveling and like the amount of food you're gonna eat, and you can get like the drink tickets or whatever, and it like ends up pretty efficient. So I think like from what I've heard, like a ton of people are going on cruises this year.
Have you all ever been on a cruise?
No.
I've seen Titanic too many times. You ever seen the movie Poseidon?
No.
Where you get hit by a rogue wave? I'm just not a fan. I've seen Castaway. See, I'm not a fan of just being out in the middle of the ocean. Sorry. No matter if there's a
that.
big water slide, like if I'm on top of a water
Yeah,
slide on a Carnival cruise about to go down and I look and it's nothing but ocean, I'm not going to enjoy that water slide ride because I'm in the middle of the ocean.
But that boat is giant.
And
so you
you're
won't
on
see
your
the
way to
ocean.
The
somewhere
ocean
cool.
is
You're
giant.
probably on your way
Sure.
to like Puerto Rico or something. Yeah,
No,
I mean,
you might not see the ocean because it's so big.
No
I
way.
mean, no, if I'm on, no,
Look,
if
I've
I'm
been,
on a
I've,
boat,
dude,
the
I've
ocean.
been
They're
on
indoor.
two
There's
cruises,
things that are
and
indoor.
there are tons of things that you can do on a cruise boat and never see the ocean at all.
But if
Yeah.
you
But the
step
thing is-
outside, if you
I'm
step
You
gonna
outside,
can
wanna
be
be
outside and not even see it. So they have on
That's the
certain
thing.
decks they have like walls up so you can't jump. I'm serious.
they have them.
And they have little circle windows that you
Yeah.
can see through.
It's not like you're
I don't
just on
know.
this.
If I was-
Yeah, it's
Well,
not like
I'll
if
look out
they
the
hit like
window.
a tiny little bump and like a little wave that the whole boat
See,
tips
all right.
and you fall off.
See, and
like-
this is the thing. Everybody's like, when I tell them about me going on a cruise, everybody's like, Mackie, a rogue wave isn't gonna happen. They say that until it happens,
Well, even
and I
if
know
it's
it's
a
gonna. I
cruise
know
boat.
it's gonna happen if I'm on a cruise. I know we're just gonna hit a wave, and you know the Coast Guard's gonna be like, it's gonna be 8 hours till we get out there, and I'm like, look at me, I can't survive in any like life-threatening events. So
They have
I,
life
can't
jackets,
tread
man.
water.
exactly, I've
Life
like
jackets. Life. What do they call
But
it?
before you
Lifesavers.
ever even
Lifesavers.
leave the port, too, they put you through this little. They're like, "Hey, go stand out here.
So
this
do
is like your.
airplanes,
This
but
is
do
where
people
you'll
know what
meet
to
up."
do when an airplane goes down? Really?
yeah, what do
Other
you
than
feel
put
about
a life
airplanes?
jacket and put the oxygen
I would
mask
feel
on?
safer on a cruise boat than I would in an airplane.
See, I'm the opposite.
Why do you like the airplane? Because you can just look out the window. You're just up in the air.
Because all right, so if anything,
Yeah, you're
this
thousands
is-
of feet in
This
the
is
air.
going to be a little cynical, but if anything happens on an airplane,
yeah.
the odds of me survive. Now I can get
Yeah,
tipped in a
that's
boat.
fair, that's true.
5%. Listen to this, y'all. Y'all probably know this stat.
comes the stat.
5% of the world's ocean has been discovered. If I have a life jacket,
So you think if you fall off the boat, you're gonna find some undiscovered
that
thing
5%.
to eat you?
Oh,
that
You're gonna fall
5% is
into the
like the
5% that's
surface.
discovered. You're not gonna. Yeah.
have y'all, no, that's what I'm saying. If
You think
I
you're
put
gonna
on
fall
a life
into,
jacket,
like,
jacket,
the-
you're gonna be on the top, man.
Yes, but what any creature from that 95% of the ocean
The
can just come
Kraken's
up,
just gonna
they're
come out.
and just roar. I don't know what sounds ocean like predators make.
No, that,
Dude,
that
From
one
some-
right there.
You could
coming
float to
from
your own,
somebody
like,
from the beach, it
island
isn't
and
raw.
survive.
Oh my gosh,
Create your own
Scott!
life.
Like, cool. I can float to my own island and survive. That's what Tom Hanks did in Castaway. Do I want to live that way?
Mackie said he wasn't trying to argue this morning.
No, I'm trying. Yeah.
What if that
that's
that
dumb.
island is Spain or something?
Well, Spain's not an island, so.
Or not an island, but like the land that you
Coastline.
find.
Then
I
you
mean,
can't
cool.
speak their language.
But you learn, man.
No, I mean,
Mackie
all
can't.
right,
People
all
are
right.
friendly.
Me learning a language opposed to like surviving in the ocean, I would much rather try my chances learning a new language. But
And you can communicate in so many ways.
you're telling me
Smile.
you're telling me that if I'm in the middle of the ocean especially the Pacific,
On a cruise boat.
on a cruise boat,
That sounds
that
awesome.
I'm just going to luckily float upon a nice, coastline where I can just communicate with people, and they're
Your,
like, "Oh
cru-
yeah."
your cruise boat's probably on
Dude,
the way to a nice
think about
coastline.
it. Think about you rolling up in
I'm
a
just not a
life
fan of-
jacket,
I
just
am-
coming up out of the sand on the coastline.
Help me.
Yes, they will help
Help.
you, man.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Who is this guy?"
Or I can go on some
Where's
kind of
it going?
island to where, there's nothing, like
That's
Tom
true.
Hanks.
But you could figure
Okay,
it out. You could
wait.
start looking around and.
Hey,
look
we
for
don't
other
we don't
lands.
question Tom Hanks.
Mackie, you're not alone though. There's gonna be millions of people in that ocean with you. You guys can figure out what
See,
to do as
all
a
right,
group.
there's millions
you're
of
not
people,
by yourself.
unless
Don't
one
wander.
of-
millions.
I'm
Millions
confused at
on
what
the
the
cruise.
scenario even is. Are you on the cruise boat?
No, at this point, I don't even know where I'm at because the cruise boat wrecked. What happened? I don't. Am I
How,
in the
did it,
ocean?
how would a cruise boat wreck, dude?
A
cruise
wave.
boats
A
have-
rogue wave.
It's like 12 stories.
Do they have enough
but a
life
lot of
jackets for
things could
everybody?
happen. I'm just saying, I'm more safe. I feel more or safer in an airplane than a cruise boat.
Fair.
Because if I'm in an airplane and something happens,
You don't have to worry about it.
take the wheel. I'm done. Yeah. If I'm on a cruise boat, now I'm floating in the ocean. Oh,
With
it's just the
others?
surface.
That adrenaline,
Acting like
though.
great white sharks don't exist on the
mode.
surface.
Survival mode.
Survival mode.
Yeah, just
Cool.
Click it on.
Put on the life jacket.
Dude,
I'm
the
in a boat
last-
in the middle
the
of the
last-
ocean. Survival
the
mode.
last
What do I
I think
do?
it'd
worst
be cool to be in
thing-
a situation.
The last worst
like
thing
that.
I remember happening with a cruise boat was when that one got stuck in like the
port of Italy?
rocks
Yeah,
or whatever. I
yeah.
don't even like exactly remember
it
how
was
it
in
happened.
Italy.
But like all those people were stuck on the cruise boat and like the bathrooms didn't work and they were like running out of food, so they were like airdropping food onto the deck of the cruise ship and people were just like stuck on that would be horrible. And you know where that happened, Mackie? Right up against the shore. Nowhere near the center of the ocean. So
I know.
just
See,
saying.
they got lucky. They got lucky.
Lucky.
Mackie's
They got
paranoia.
lucky.
They were stuck
I am
in
paranoid.
a giant cruise
That's what's
boat with
gonna
no
cost
working
them.
bathrooms for like a week.
Off the coast of Italy.
Not in the center of the ocean.
I know.
They were
You're
safe.
proving
They
my
were safe.
point.
They were safe when they were in the center of the ocean. They weren't stuck nowhere.
Facts.
As long as that food they airdropped was straight from Italy, would have been all right.
Well, all right. So real quick.
They just dropped some like
so story
spaghetti
about
and
that.
meatballs.
Yes.
So my family and I went to Italy in the summer of 2013.
By
and that-
boat?
By boat? Oh no, by plane. And I think if we're thinking about the same thing, the cruise ship that got stuck, it was like off the coast of like Naples, somewhere around there. And we took a taxi from Positano to Naples to take a train to Venice, no boats. And so we're talking, and apparently the captain escaped. This is a story I heard from the taxi driver. The captain escaped the cruise boat before like most of the passengers, and like a lot of people in like there was like a bounty out on him to be arrested in Naples because he like how the captain's supposed to go down with his ship.
Yeah.
Well, he like ditched the ship before the passengers, so like a lot of people in the town of Naples was not happy about it.
Wow.
I don't know if that's true or not. I just heard from a taxi person.
Oh, then it has to be true.
A captain on the run.
Captain on the run.
Well, Mac, I mean, you gotta get a life jacket first when the whole boat goes down.
Yeah, I wonder if they would have enough for
That's what
everybody,
I'm
'cause there's
saying.
so
One,
many
two.
people.
After Titanic,
after,
that's saying they have
after
to-
the Titanic debacle, I feel like they have to figure that
No,
out.
I don't think they have enough, but
Lifesavers, not just jackets.
They
all
need
sorts of
enough
stuff.
doors for people to float on too, because Jack was left hanging.
yeah, you're right. Well, the boys are back in town. It's the morning men here this morning. We'll be back after the break.
Morning App on 90.5 WASU and WASUradio.com.
Back here on the Morning App today, it is known as the Morning Men. It's an all-male group here today. I didn't think we'd get to cruise ships and Mackie's fear of it, or irrational fear of it.
All right,
It's like fairly irrational.
That's what I'm
but-
saying. Having a fear of cruise ships. See, the scenarios I was putting myself in was irrational, but the actual fear itself, I don't think that's a
Fair.
Yeah, I agree.
Fair.
I think that's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do it. But another fear of mine, obviously, is getting in a car wreck. And Gray, you didn't have that necessarily, but you had something close.
Yeah, the other day, so I came, I think this was last Thursday, maybe the Thursday before.
Valentine's Day?
It might have been on
That would've been
I think it actually was on Valentine's Day.
Day of love
tough
and a
love,
day of-
man.
Yeah,
Tough love.
well, and so here's the story. So I wasn't doing anything on Valentine's Day. Mackie's over here laughing at me. So I drove to campus. I had to do, I think, sports rap that night, and my DJ hour was right after. So I drove to campus, parked my car, came here to the station, did sports rap for an hour, did my DJ hour for the next hour, and then I went over to the SRC to lift some weights, just like exercise a little bit. Came out of there probably another hour and a half later. I'd been on campus like close to 4 hours, but I went back to my car at the parking lot, and it had been completely sideswiped by somebody, like pretty bad. Like it looked like somebody was just like texting while they were driving through the parking lot or something, didn't realize it at all, and just completely hit the side of my car. There's like a big dent in the door of my car, a bunch of paint scratches and everything. And essentially, after like contacting people to try to figure out what to do about it, there were no cameras around in the parking lot where my car was. It was there for so long that it's not like there was really any specific time where like a 15-minute window that they could check to try to figure out who it was or anything. So I'm basically stuck with this dent in the side of my car, a bunch of paint scratches, and nothing I can do about it.
That's so interesting that no cameras in the SRC parking lot.
It's not. It wasn't the SRC.
Okay.
It was a section of Peacock.
Yeah.
Like behind Peacock or Rayleigh? The Rayleigh lot.
It was in Rayleigh.
Rayleigh, excuse me. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a pretty
It's a
big
big
parking
parking
lot for a, I don't know, for the university to not have cameras there?
There might be cameras in the lot. When I was talking to him, they said like where my car
Yeah.
was, like there wasn't going to be a way
blind
for them to
spots.
see it.
Either way, you got to have cameras.
Well, now if you got to
Every
roughen up
area.
somebody on campus, like take their wallet or something.
Dude,
you know exactly
there
where to
weren't
do it.
that many cars in the parking lot when I got back, and it was like clearly white paint scratches on the side of my car. So I like started walking around Rayleigh just looking for a car with like that was white with some paint on the side or something, and I couldn't find anything. But yeah. If anybody listening knows anything about this, you watched a car randomly run into a silver Nissan Altima the other day and drive
On
off.
Valentine's Day.
That's me.
Well, we were talking about it briefly last night. We feel it's way too easy to get away with stuff, because especially here on campus. And I don't know how we feel about increased security. Oh, there should be cameras everywhere. The future is coming. But at the same time, that's a pretty big deal. Someone could have
Upstate
committed.
Big Brother.
Yeah, someone could have committed more of a crime there. It
Yeah.
could have been stealing a wallet. It could have been a mugging. It could have been anything. And obviously the car swipe's not good, but someone could have done it right there.
No, that's fairly true. I didn't even really think about that when it first happened. It was honestly more just like rage at first.
Yeah.
I was so mad. I called my dad and I just like started getting upset about it. But he kind of said the same thing when I told him like what the answer was. Like he was like, wow, like it surprises me that there was just like not really a way to like figure that out. And I mean, I get it. Think about how many people go to the university and how many little individual nuances might happen per day in some random parking lot like that they have to get the report and look at it and try to figure out how they're supposed to narrow down who it was. I mean, I get why it's a difficult process to try to figure something like that out, but I that is an interesting point, Josh. Like something worse could have potentially happened, and
Yeah.
there's no way anybody really would have known, obviously, because there's no way anybody knew what happened to my car.
Were there any of those blue poles sticking out, the emergency
Yeah.
poles or anything near
Nah,
there?
I don't think there's
I'm not
any
sure.
around
Like there
Rayleigh.
should be like a camera on each one of those, a camera on each stoplight pole, just monitoring.
That's not a bad idea.
Stoplight cameras.
No, I don't know, but I'm talking about the blue.
Let's
'cause
leave those cameras out.
the blue light things are meant for people
Yeah.
who feel unsafe. So it'd probably be smart to have a camera on them.
Yeah.
Because if you're standing there feeling unsafe, then that means there's probably a reason within the vicinity that I don't know that you don't feel safe.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting too because there's a greater conversation we could have about more in depth of like law enforcement and justice system, which we could talk about for hours. But I think what's really interesting, what's really hard about just the world we live in is in a situation like this with just a car getting swiped, you know, the job of law enforcement is to, you know, help in any way they can and try to do their best. But like like I hate to say it, but in some instances for us, they're real, like, that sucks. It's tough, but it's kind of
What's
almost
that
like a
compared to something
hassle.
else?
Yeah, it's like because of the process of having to go through paperwork and going to the cameras and doing all of this, and they have so much on their plate. It's like
Your car isn't worth it, Gray.
No, that's why I said earlier, like, I
in a way.
understand. You realize how many complaints or requests to investigate something that they probably get every single day, and they look at a sideswipe car and probably just think, well, there's no camera footage, and he was there 4 hours. What are we supposed to do? So,
I get what you're saying, Scott. Like with the whole, like there are bigger
It's
fish
their
to
job,
fry. And one, it's their job, and two, it's Boone. It's App State PD. Like, how many things do they have going on to where they can't look at a side? And I've seen his car, like a side swiped car.
Oh, I've seen it too.
Yeah,
It's
and
not-
it's pretty bad.
It's bad.
And it's just like, like it's it's annoying that they have other stuff to do, but you know, like I said, like it's still part of their
Well,
job.
I think part of my point is that even if they since they did try to look into it a little bit, there's nothing there. And so it's
No,
like,
yeah,
you
once
try
they
it-
realize
you try a
nothing's
little bit,
there.
and it's
Right.
like, oh well,
That's
not
why
worth
I-
it.
like,
Can't
my-
find- it's too hard
yeah.
to find something.
Yeah.
So we're gonna stop. And sorry.
I wasn't like really that upset that they told me there wasn't anything that they could do. I was more just upset that it happened.
Yeah.
No.
In
I
the
was just-
circumstances that it did.
I was just relaying it to the bigger picture.
No,
that
no,
something
yeah, no, I
else
get it,
could
I
have
get it.
happened.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's way too easy for it to happen.
Yeah.
Now, what if you're driving one day and you just see a white car with some silver paint on it?
Might
That
have
looks
to,
like that's
give
what I'm
'em a
saying.
little
What do you?
sideswipe of my own,
Yeah,
you know?
what do you think you would do if like you're driving? Like, would you follow them? Would you try to talk to them? Like, what you gonna do? How creepy? How
Man,
far
that-
do you want to take it?
But think about this: like, if I'm driving and I see a white car with some silver paint on it, like, am I really gonna make the assumption that that would
All right,
happen
but-
to be the same
so,
car that hit me?
The
Like,
way it looks like someone was backing out from the spot beside you on the right, and when they were like turning and the front end was coming out, it hit the side of your car.
What I was thinking is, so my car was, you know, the lane that goes through Raleigh?
Yeah.
Like how you can kind of drive through Raleigh?
Yeah.
Well, my car was next to that. So I think somebody was driving through Raleigh, maybe texting, maybe peeking down a lane or something to check for a
Just
spot,
ran.
drifted off and hit the side of my car, you know, like, because it was parked right next to
Yeah,
that,
see,
to
the
that
way,
lane.
the way I thought someone was just like pulling out.
No,
and
no,
their car just like kind of like.
Well, and it's like a big enough dent where it looks to me like somebody really like made some contact with it. Like, I
no,
don't
someone
know.
definitely made contact with your car.
I think it was just Valentine's Day revenge on Gray. I think someone's just out to get Gray.
That's a interesting theory. That's pretty
We got a
funny.
conspiracy of like an ex,
They saw
one
you
of Gray's like exes or something coming up here to App State
All the way from Wilmington.
all the way.
5-hour drive.
That's dedication.
They saw him
Beat-
get out of it.
Day trip.
Girls
Every
from
Valentine's
girls
Day.
from the beach, man. They're dedicated.
Found my car in Raleigh and just drove right
For the
into
next
it.
4 hours, they just kept running into it
Yeah.
repeatedly.
Saw
until
me
they
walking out of
you.
that store,
Yep.
so you're like, oh, got a dip.
Gray's like Ron Swanson, and the girl's like Tammy. Anybody watch Parks and Rec?
Yes.
A little.
Did
I
you?
know what
you
you're
got the
referring
okay. Well, if you watch Parks and Rec, then you got that reference. So I feel okay about it. If you don't know,
Well, on the other side of the break, we're going to be talking some our pointless debates here on the Morning App. But here's Now That We're Men on the Morning App.
Morning App on 90.5 WASU and WASUradio.com.
Back here on the Morning App, it's the Morning Men edition, all-male group here today, and we're going to tackle a pointless debate that definitely, it ranges on the activity side of things, and we were talking about it last night. Should bars allow axe throwing? It's a new thing that I've actually heard of in recent years. I don't know how long the one in Wilmington has been around, Gray, because you were talking about that. I know there's one in Durham, but bars are now having areas, basically bowling lanes, where you can throw axes while drunk.
Question: is it an extra cost?
It
like
is.
bowling.
I think it is, yeah.
I don't think you can roll to a bar and just like get an axe for free and just go and throw it.
Before all of you listening take judgment to the axe throwing at bars, thinking that it's a horrible idea off the bat, because when you first hear the idea, like, okay, we're gonna put axes in a bar and drunk people can throw them. That sounds dumb in itself, but there's like a system to it. Like, there's lanes and you line up, and everybody who's gonna throw, like, you don't throw till everybody's there, and then once everybody's there, everybody like does their throw, and then nobody goes to get their axes until everyone's finished. There's like a regulation process. There's people around.
Because they'll listen.
Is that like the only safety? Is that the only safety
They're
standard?
just axes, right?
What I'm saying is, if you're regulating it and I can go to a bar and drink a beer and throw an axe, I think I'm gonna try it. I think that sounds like a good
I
time.
would. Oh, if I'm at a bar and there is an axe on the table and it says like $3 to throw an
that
axe.
thing into the wall.
Oh,
not $3.
Little league pitchers coming out
Also,
of me.
okay.
I'm gonna get a bullseye.
what I'm
So
saying.
when I picture bowling alley, I picture just this long launch. How far are we throwing the
It's
axe
not
right
far.
It's like a dartboard,
No,
right?
like literally maybe like me to the wall in like it's pretty close. Like I would say maybe like 10,
dartboard,
15
like,
feet.
how
Like
far
maybe
you-
more than that. I don't know. But yeah,
It'll be more than
it's
a
not
dartboard,
far.
yeah.
Like it's close enough to where like you have to have the strength to be able to throw it
To
get
wield
it to
it.
stick into the wall. You know what I mean? Like there's a wall made for like the axe to go into it. But yeah.
Okay, someone could pull
So-
back and throw it down at their foot on accident. Someone could lose the hand.
Oh,
You could
yeah,
throw
just
it back
drop
and
it.
hit-
More
A cruise
realistically,
ship
just
can
drop
sink
it.
in the middle of the ocean, but people still go on cruises. That's pretty much what the whole first segment was.
I've never like
No.
seen this or heard of it,
No.
but I bet there is like a thing at those places where it's like, dude, you're cut off not just from drinks but from axe throwing. Like,
If
I
you
don't
get
know.
cut off from drinks, you
There-
should be cut off from axe
If
throwing.
they, if they put you in a lane like they do the horse racing, if they locked you in a cage and said, okay, now you can throw
They
it.
open the door and then like
I'd be fine.
1, 2, 3, throw.
Game
Like
of
an egg
Thrones
toss.
season 7 or the final season is coming out. You never know. People might be training
up.
Exactly.
I'm just, if someone's standing behind you, you range back and you hit them in the face. I mean,
Who
you could-
stays
it's like
behind
it's
someone
like a
with an axe?
separate
Anybody
area
who's
from
drunk
the
ever, man.
bar though. Like you're not like it's not like, oh, I'm gonna hop up off my bar stool, walk 2 feet over there and like chuck this axe into a
okay,
wall.
but if it's a whole group, I'm saying they're going to want to see, they're going to be
It's
like
like
a little bit
top
clumsy.
golf. Or bowling.
It's like
You're
a
with a
yeah,
group.
yeah,
Top
yeah,
golf,
yeah,
but
no,
with
that's-
axes.
Top golf's like where you're inside, right? And you have like the sheet. And
Something
you can,
like that.
Top golf is the most
It's so
advanced golf
expensive.
course you'll ever go
It's so
to.
expensive.
ever.
I'll probably never go.
But what's the thing? It's like the golf. It's kind of like the golf. Like that's the set. You know how like with golf you can be inside and they have like the sheet with the projection. You
Yeah.
hit it and it tells you. It like I feel like the setting. You know how that's like separate from like the rest of the. I don't
Yeah,
know. It's kind of like that. Like
I understand it's separate, but when you're drunk, nothing is separate. You can literally wander around through anywhere.
Then
and
that
you know
bar
it
just doesn't
happens.
have good
Also-
bouncers if you can just wander around everywhere.
Are these bars being built to have a separate axe throwing? Or
Oh,
are they just adding it to the bar already? Just
I honestly am
that
not sure. I just know like Wilmington's got one. I
Durham's
know
got one.
Durham's got one. Richmond, Virginia has one. Like
You can look them up, Scott.
yeah, they're,
Rich
they're,
what?
they're popping up.
Richmond.
I don't know. My dad. So my uncle is from Richmond, Virginia. He and his girlfriend went to one in Richmond, and they were like, "Oh, this is so cool." And so they came down to Wilmington, found out that there was one in Wilmington, took my dad, stepmom, and my grandpa there, and they all like went and did some axe throwing. And my dad called me up on the phone. He's like, "Dude, it was so fun. When you get back, you have to go and throw axes with me." And I was like, "Okay." So yeah, I'm a proponent of bar axe throwing.
I'm not saying that
Regulated.
it would not be fun. I'm saying it's extremely dangerous and probably shouldn't be there.
Okay.
Josh is
I'm
just like a.
So
you know.
this
What I
website
mean, like, what
I'm
are you gonna
reading,
throw? Nerf
Forbes, some article that's talking about these.
Scott has the receipts.
These talking about it. So a booking costs between $35 and $45 a person.
Yeah, it is a lot.
For how many
So-
axes?
I think
It's
there's
probably
like
for
an
the night.
hour,
So-
like an hour or
Oh,
something
Something like
time
that,
frame.
yeah.
Okay.
So I think when it's more formal and official, I'm still like it's so dangerous, and especially, but I think it's different if you kind of go to the bar to throw axes rather than you go to drink and there's an axe throwing over there.
But some people may
Fair,
not
if that
know.
makes sense.
Fair.
You may
Who's
just roll
gonna
up to a
go
bar.
pay a $30
hot trend,
cover to not throw axes?
Dude, like, could you
People-
imagine just going to Portos right beside us and like where they're throwing darts? You just walk into the
Here's
back
what-
room and there's just someone
That would
shucking
be
a tomahawk.
so cool. I
Here's
would
what I wanna
think
know.
about how many more people would probably go to Portos just to throw axes.
Think of the
more
type of people that go to Portos. Do you want those? Do you want them throwing axes?
Here's what I wanna
I don't
know.
want me then. I'm included in
Yeah,
that.
you're
type.
right. Think about how many people probably wouldn't go if there was just because there was axe throwing,
If
right?
someone saw me with an axe, they're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go over to ale." I'm not
Yeah.
saying it.
I want to know how and when this idea happened and got started. Just
Oh, the Vikings.
Oh, the Vikings. That's what I'm saying. The
Yeah.
Vikings stuff.
we should just have axe throwing in bars. That idea is like a real business.
Darts
concept.
got boring.
Yeah, you're right. Think about trying to pitch that to the first investor. Like, all right, I have this idea. It's a bar, but one section of it, and trust me, it's regulated, is axe throwing.
and by regulated, you mean we'll just line them up and tell them they can't go get it until everyone else does.
By regulated, it means they can't step in front of each other when they're throwing axes.
They have to have at least 5 cores
We're gonna
before they
s-
get
and
to
we're
it.
gonna sign a
and
couple
there's a
forms before they
separate
just
axe
launch it.
bouncer. That's probably the only difference.
With
Who has a
each beer-
machete? Has the out? I don't know. Bad
With
joke.
each
In
beer,
case any
we
of the
give
axe
them an
throws
axe.
get out of hand.
With each beer, you get an axe. With each pitcher, you get a spear. There you go. That's how you do it.
A
Just keep
spear.
upping the ante.
You get a 3-spear limit for the night.
Yeah. There you go.
That's how they should do it. An axe per drink, and then you get
No,
and then you get an axe.
Talk about regulation. Why do you want?
No, I'm kidding.
Hey man, what you drink? I'm drinking dead beers, man, so I can go get myself 3 axe throws, baby.
Yo, go get me a spear.
Hey,
Keep the tap
give me
open.
give me a picture
You,
of a Miller Lite.
you want to split a spear?
I can't believe this is a real thing. Though.
All I'm saying, we've seen what people do
Scott,
at bars.
we're taking you
with-
axe throwing when you turn 21.
Yeah.
I guess you can't do it unless you're 21.
Right.
But
I mean, you can't really get in the bar.
So you have
Yeah,
to,
you're right.
yeah, I don't know.
some you can, but not all.
I don't know.
I mean, you can throw an axe.
Because I was gonna say
just
you
not
might
at
be
a
able
bar
to go
until
in
you're
and just be
21.
like, yo, I'm not trying to drink, but I'm trying to throw axes.
They honestly should let you if you're sober and 19.
It's
Like
$35.
That's what I'm saying. They'll be making $35
Yeah.
per person.
That's honestly a stretch. I don't know if I'd pay $35.
I
to
mean,
throw.
I don't think
I
it's
would not.
always
I would go
that.
get myself an
That's
axe
just
and
the
go out to a
one. That's just
field.
the one
I would
place.
go buy
though.
myself an
It
axe
might-
for that
every-
That's probably
every-
less than $35. They're just over time.
Every
Yeah, but
place might
the
not
investment.
charge $35. That might just be the one place.
yeah, I think I read that it's like for 10 throws, it's $20. For an hour's worth of axe throws, just free, as many as you can get in an hour, it's like 40.
How?
Man,
your
you
arm
just-
would hurt, man, throwing an
Yeah,
axe.
that price per throw. Just
My dad
Gotta
said
keep that ERA
my dad
low.
said he got pretty good at it, like consistent.
Your dad did?
I'm sure
Yeah.
people love it, man.
I'm just saying, I've seen what people do with pool sticks and like a pool table at a bar. I would not put the axes in a bar,
I would-
especially with
I would
my
not.
I don't know. Hear me out. You're watching some Game of Thrones at home. You're getting hyped up for the new
For the
season.
North!
You decide, you know what? Like, I'm gonna stop sitting on my butt here at home watching Game of Thrones. I'm gonna go do
I'm gonna
something about
actually
it.
do
I'm
it.
gonna train. Winter's coming, and
Great.
so you go to the bar and you do some axe throwing.
Have
like-
do you know that there's, I don't know the exact stat, like Mackie had one earlier. Do you know there are statistically more wrecks after a NASCAR race? Because people get into that mindset of, yeah, people are driving fast, and then the next day.
Yeah,
or the
that's
next
why it's regulated at the bar, so they can leave and pick
can't-
up an axe on the sidewalk and throw it at somebody.
regulation is just telling them not to go get your axe when others are throwing, unless they lock them in a cage. But okay, we're gonna put it up on Instagram. We're gonna put it on Facebook. Should axe throwing be allowed at bars? Yay or nay?
Yes.
We're gonna put it up. We're gonna continue with the morning app, aka the Morning Men here today. It's raining men here on the morning app. Back here at the morning app. It is the all men show today. The only one of the year. We're not going to be allowed to do this again, but
Yeah, probably not.
the morning
Unless it's a
men.
big hit.
Yeah, I
What
told
if the
Katie and
ratings are
Dovey-
just skyrocketing right now?
I told Katie.
My
Dovey-
mom just added one more listener to the rating, so
Hey, we
shout
need
out
'em.
Joan.
So we have
need
like
'em.
4 now? No, I'm kidding.
She's
Yeah,
on,
'cause
she's
all of our
on,
moms.
and she's on 3 devices.
All our moms.
Well,
I'm
it is.
watching right now. Just kidding.
It is the relationship segment, and we had topics to talk about because Natalie and Katie they didn't trust us to come up with something about
I
the
haven't been in a
relationship
relationship
topics.
since 6th grade, so that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna stray away completely from it because I want to talk to you all about we're all bros here, we're all brothers, and I took my girl out to dinner the other night, and the guy at the front, I guess he's a hostess, the hostess, who
Host, the
seats,
host,
yeah,
the host, yeah.
who seats you at the table. He and my girlfriend know each other, and I had told her, I'm like, I think he's got a little sneaky.
Bad intentions.
Design.
Like, yeah,
I
like-
don't know what the word. He is interested in you, and she kept denying. She's like, no way, no way, no way, like none whatsoever. And then we went to dinner, and I knew he was going to be the host, and I was completely fine with it. I was not worried about it at all. And the second we walked in, he locked eyes with her and never looked away. Only talked to her, like eye contact. Great. I'm staring at you right now. Scott's
Yeah.
right next to you. Never looked at me once.
Maggie
The
giving
entire
me a
time.
stare,
He
too.
does not know what I look like. Did not acknowledge my
Do you,
existence.
do you think that he was like aware of like what the situation was?
I mean, I'm taking her to dinner. We're dressed up.
Yeah.
It's a dinner for
Like it's
two.
pretty obvious.
He's like, oh, table
Where
for
was
how
this?
many? It was at Kobo.
Kilbo.
Yeah.
Plus,
And-
if he follows her on like Instagram or anything, like he probably
yeah.
would know who
I'm
you
just,
are. I mean,
like, as a guy, like, if you are interested in someone and you guys, like, you don't make it blatantly obvious. Maybe he was just being polite. And that's what, we talked about. But he did not look at me once the entire night.
Nah, see,
no,
that's
that was an
weird. Yeah.
intentional
That's
thing.
weird.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
If
I
you,
don't know
if
why.
you don't
like,
want it to be obvious, you at least be like, hey, man, how's it going? Like, at least anything.
That was just him trying to be like, you don't phase me. Like, yeah, I'm not worried about you.
He's trying to
but,
be
but,
the-
but
he
when
was-
really it's him saying like, I'm super worried about you. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's like
He's
an
trying to be the alpha,
overcompensation.
but
yeah.
he's scared
like,
to be the alpha.
he was a nice guy. Like, nice guy. Got us to our table, but
Yeah.
he doesn't know what I look like.
Was he your waiter as well, or just
No,
like,
he was just the
walked
host, yeah.
in?
And we saw him on the way out. Like, he only talked to her.
Did
Like,
you give
never.
him a wave, the head nod?
Did
Hey,
I?
See ya.
No, I kind of like looked him at the end of the night, trying to get him to look at me.
Give him
look at
that
me.
look.
Yeah, and I
Give
did
him that
get
look,
it. I
Josh.
did get
Come
it.
on, Josh.
Josh, you should have given him a little extra, like a little like, yo, let me get the check, like a little snap.
Well, he wasn't our waiter.
Don't
like,
ever. All right.
No, I know.
Don't,
Don't,
ever
no,
snap
exactly.
at anybody.
Don't
I
ever,
will
don't
fight
ever
anybody.
snap at a waitress or a waiter or anything. But if they're dissing you and they're eyeing your girl, I don't know. Maybe you gotta throw them a little sass back.
At the end of the night, I did make sure he saw me. He did see me at the end of the night because we were leaving, and he, of course, found her as we were leaving, talked to her, eye contact, never looked at me. He finished his conversation with her, looked down on the ground, waited like a couple seconds, expecting me to leave, and then he looked up at me, and I looked at him, and then he looked back at the ground. Like, he did see me at the
There
end of the
you go,
night.
Yeah, he had problems.
Man, this is.
I was like, really?
No, that's just
Wow.
weird. But that's also when you just gotta. I don't know. That's a weird situation. You have to. Well, this is at Kobo, you said?
Yeah.
So you know all the history. Like, you know that the guy wants, likes your girl. And you
I mean,
know.
you would
Maybe.
think.
Maybe.
I was just
Who knows?
asking you
Yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah.
All right,
Is
now
it- is
do
it
y'all
weird?
think, from what he's told us, like even
From what
on-
Josh says, it sounds like there
during
was
break
there was
and
certainly an intention with what he
there's
was
some
doing.
kind of
Yeah.
There's something there that guy wants.
So I
But-
think it's weird that the situation's weird, but I think what would be awesome is to just overwhelm him with friendliness.
Yeah.
And just
so-
be like,
That's the most Scott Spicker.
I think that's the most Scott Speaker thing I've ever heard in my
how
life.
can he respond negatively to someone that's just like, hey man,
I wasn't mean.
Yeah.
I just
Plus, how much of a stunt to your confidence must it be if the girl you like walks up with her boyfriend and you purposely don't look at him and are mean to him, and then he turns and looks at you and is like, "What's up, bro? Like, how you doing
It's
today, man? Like,
extremely
you're
nice.
just doing like super dandy."
'Cause if you respond like,
well, yeah.
well, rightfully so, with some sort of like, wow, that was weird, maybe a little anger in there, but then
just
he'll
laugh.
realize that you're like kind of affected by that too. When if you respond with friendliness, you know, and he knows you're just content in your relationship,
and
There's
you're
nothing
not,
he can,
and you're not
he can't mess with it.
intimidated by the fact that he's doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I just laughed it off.
Exactly.
I was like, you know, trying to
Yeah.
show her. I'm like, hey,
Yeah,
like, yeah, that's a little weird. She's like, yeah, that. She's like, yeah, a little bit. And I was just, I laughed it off. Again, I didn't get to talk to him because they were talking about stuff, and
Yeah.
I was perfectly fine just standing there,
Yeah.
doing nothing, which is fine. Great.
You got to
guy.
do what like Gabe. All right, have all y'all seen The Office?
Yes.
Have you seen The Office?
I have.
You have to do what like Gabe did to Andy and just trap him in a room and just yell at him and just freak him out.
Or you could call your morning men for
Yeah,
some
right.
backup.
Let's get a
Let's
Kobo
just all
tonight.
I
go.
will
Let's
never
all
do
go.
Boys-
anything
boy dinner at,
on anybody.
Kobo
I am
tonight?
I am like a butterfly. I want to avoid conflicts. So sorry, Josh. If you need me to like text
Again,
you
there's
during the event, be like, hey
Mackie
man, hope
basically
all's
just
good."
said he doesn't have your back, Josh.
Oh yeah,
That's fine.
I don't have your back, Josh.
I want to
You go to
see
Kobo?
what.
If you go to at least Hokkaido, I'll go to Hokkaido.
Low
ba-
class for you to go.
Oh yeah, I'll back you up. Get myself a little nice hibachi chicken with rice and vegetables. But Kobo,
Yeah, Kobo's nice.
I'll back
Never
you up
been.
at Ruth's Chris, man. Don't hit me
Again,
up for anything less than that.
I'm not. I wasn't even. I just wanted to get your guys' opinion because you're all, you know, bros, and it,
I
definitely looks
I like the
sketchy.
Yeah.
friendly. I like the
See,
friendly.
Yeah, me
You
too.
can't-
That's some real advice
Like
from
you
Scott Spiggott.
can't, as from the other guy's perspective, you can't. Like, how do you can't move on?
If
from
someone
that.
came up to me and like I knew there was a little bit of animosity there, like I knew like he
You have
knew
to
what
be
was
his
going
friend
on,
at that
and then he
point.
just starts being extremely nice to me, I'm just kind of like,
There's no.
Because he doesn't want to be friends with you, but if you want to
But
be friends with him,
It's
Again, I
all
don't-
psychological,
Yeah.
bro.
I
And
don't
he's
know.
like,
if there's,
what?
I don't know if there's any bad blood. I'm just pointing out.
Yeah.
Never
I hear
made
you.
eye contact with me ever the entire night, which I
Maybe-
just thought it was funny. And I could just be reaching. He could just be polite and only maybe he was only comfortable talking to her because he knows her.
maybe he
Maybe he
recognizes
thought you were
from the
pretty,
morning
Josh.
app.
Maybe he was shy. Yeah. Maybe he was looking at me and he was like,
Yeah, he's like, I can't even look at that guy. He's too pretty.
too striking. That wasn't it.
Too
That was-
striking.
that was not it. But yeah. So thought I'd share that with the world.
Yeah, be
I
friendly.
enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
take
Scott
Scott.
Spiggott had the hot take of that segment.
Scott,
Hot take,
Be friendly,
friendly.
guys.
it's got the top man. He just says, like I was just saw him right eager to talk, and he was just like, kill him with kindness.
Kill him with kindness.
And I was like, Scott, that's genius. But that's exactly what I expected from Scott Spickard.
Words of the day, right?
And that's why I love Scott.
We're gonna be wrapping up the morning men here after the break.
men, manly men, manly men.
Back here on the morning app. It's the Morning Men here today. It's myself, Josh, along with Mackie, Scott, and Gray. And we're wrapping up the show.
And Mackie's G's. That's great.
Yeah.
Mackie's G's.
Gray said if I were to ever have a gang, like a actual gang, they should be called Mackie's G's. And we will not run any quarter in any city I'm in because that is the least intimidating gang name. Hey, man, watch out for Mackie's G's over there on 34th and 5th, man.
Hey, bro, Mackie's G's are coming up on the block, man. We got to scoot.
Are you saying mac and cheese or Mackie's G's?
I'd go to that. I'd go to 34th and 5th for mac and cheese.
Kraft Mac and Cheese, sponsored by
Mackie's G's.
Either way, we got a couple shout outs, of course. The whole actual morning app crew, the real ones who are usually here, are actually in New York right now at the IBS Awards because the morning app is up for best morning show in the nation out of all the college stations around. So hoping to get that win there in New York. Probably listening. I'm about to get yelled at after the show, I'm sure.
And WASU is up for 7 total awards,
That's
including
right.
the morning app. One for best social media director.
Yes.
What's another one? I'm trying to see if I can
Best
remember.
music director.
Best music director, best spot, the
Best music
bookstore, and the music playlist for one of the
tailgate,
the Sun Belt
tailgate
game
music
tailgate.
playlist. Yeah.
What else are we up for?
There's
Best
a couple
spot.
more, yeah.
But Lizzie, social media director, she's up for one.
Yep.
And the morning app, and I don't think people understand how big that is. The morning app,
That's huge.
which like for any radio station, morning drive time is like the most expensive time of the day. It's like the prime radio time. And out of every college radio station that has a at least a weekly morning show, the morning app here at WASU on the campus of Appalachian State University is up as a finalist for the best one in the nation. There
This
are a
show
lot
sure
of
didn't help, but-
Exactly. Do what?
This show sure didn't help. No.
It's kind of like
No,
when
I'm expecting the ratings to continue to climb. Are you guys kidding me? Come
Exactly.
on. Morning Men.
morning men.
hit.
Now that we're men, boom, boom.
Well, for two of you, it was your first talk show other than a sports talk show. So for Scott and Greg, because I know Mackie
That's
does it all the time now, and
right.
he's a pro at it. But did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys enjoy your time?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
I've had a great time. Josh, you and I were talking last night. We were at Tap with Mackie, one of Mackie's buddies, and we were talking about maybe doing a specialty show together.
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed my time today. I think I'm interested in potentially doing that.
I honestly think I might enjoy these kind of conversations more than sports. I mean, I love talking about
Yeah.
sports too.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
This is on.
It's just a
more
nice
fun.
change of pace.
That's- I mean, that's
sports is what
exactly
I'm
what it
passionate
is.
about, but it's nice just to be able to, kind of hang out.
And that's
talk.
and like as older guys in the station, Scott, you have 2 more years. Gray, you have 1. That's what I guess we're trying to tell you is
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a part. We're all a part of the sports team, but I don't want y'all to feel like sports is the
You're
only
limited.
thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to,
Underwriting.
That's why I talk. Yeah. That's why I talked to Nate, who does Loopy Radio every Wednesday. He talks to me about talk show. I got on talk show, and that's one of the best things I've ever done. I'm happy I'm not just doing sports because like anything, I feel like if I just did all that, I would get burnt out on it.
There's too much
and lose
out there.
lose my enjoyment for the for sports.
Fair.
Yeah. So, I mean, we are talking about hopefully it'll come to fruition or maybe even a podcast. Who knows? Because, I mean, I do enjoy talking about stuff other than sports. We're not just sports guys. We're also human beings, like I started at the beginning of the show.
We're human beings, just trying to be.
Trying to kill them with
And
kindness.
can I shout out one of my
Just
favorite human
bros
beings?
being
real quick?
dudes
You
on a
can,
morning
Mackie.
talk show.
I was gonna lead you there.
Let me shout out my mom, Joan Mary Canavasio Gallagher from Long Island. She's Italian, in case you can't tell with the name Canavasio. It is not gonna say the age, but her birthday today, March 1st, and she is actually listening. So happy birthday, Mama! I love you,
birthday.
miss you. I will see you sometime soon, and happy birthday. I'll send you a better birthday message once we get off the radio. Maybe a little prize is coming your way.
Joan, from your boy Gray. Joan took me to Cracker Barrel one time with Mackie. We had a great time. It was after one of our calls for the Grizzlies. I love Joan. Joan, happy birthday. You
sweet.
are welcome in Boone to take me to Cracker Barrel with Maggie anytime you want.
Mackie's G's.
Mackie's G's.
Yeah, thank you for providing that one listener that we had today. that was huge for our ratings. Because if we had 0, I don't think I'd be coming back on the Monday after spring break. I think.
But
I'd
we
be
are
kicked
going to
off.
win an award, or they are.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm a part of this.
Hey, we have to.
That's what- yeah.
We are anchoring down an award-winning show right now, potentially.
While they're gone, that's what I told them. I said I can't go to New York. I got to hold down the fort. Like,
Yeah,
right.
Katie and Natalie and Dovey, they're amazing at what they do. But I feel like we at least it's
try to step
at
in.
par.
We can
or
hold
at
our
par.
own
I
for a
don't play
day.
golf. Do what?
Yeah, we can hold
it
on
for
for
We're
a
hanging
day.
in there.
If we go any further, then yeah.
No, yeah, Dobie's gonna come back and be like, get off now.
I don't think you guys could wake up for an 8 a.m. show every single Monday, Wednesday,
That's
Friday.
the sole
You're
reason. That's the
100%
sole reason
correct.
why you asked me if I wanted to be a morning app host last year. I was like, I'll be a reserve. I said I don't want to.
Yeah.
I said I don't want to be waking up every
Coming
day.
off the bench this morning was tougher than I thought
was
it was going
clutch.
to be.
6-man.
Yeah, you guys did good. Oh,
I have
too
no
many sports
Friday
references.
classes. I've been waking up at like noon
6 men.
every Friday, and then my alarm goes off at 7. I'm just like, yep, I forgot that I had to do this. I was like,
Well,
but I'm very happy I'm
You
here.
reminded me yesterday.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was like, they'll figure it out.
And when we were all together after the women's basketball game, I was like, "Does Scott's on tomorrow, right?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Does he know?" And then he just sent us a text, "Y'all excited for tomorrow?" Question mark. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, Scott."
I think
always on
Scott's
top
the
of it."
only one that he probably marked it on his calendar. He was like, "Come on, 2 more days, 1 more day." He was ready for it.
Scott's been like,
I kind of forgot about it too.
He's got a countdown clock on his wall.
Well,
Dude.
I'll push
Hey,
for this.
I got a
again.
countdown clock on my wall. What you talking? What you
What are you
trying to
counting
say?
down for?
Everything.
Everything.
Like tomorrow.
So like the end.
The Mackie move every
The
Monday.
end. Whenever the cruise ship tumbles.
Yeah,
And
that's the countdown to Mackie's first cruise experience.
and I'm gonna hate it. I'm just not a big fan of cruise. I would much rather like go to Egypt and ride a camel than go to the ocean to ride a cruise.
Well, I'm 100% with you on that.
yeah, exactly.
That sounds awesome.
And you can't drown on a
awesome.
camel, right?
I don't know.
You
They
can
have
get
water
hurt.
in the homes.
Dude, when camels stand up, this is true. The whole Egypt camel thing was directed right at me. I've been to Egypt. I've ridden a camel.
That's exactly what happened.
That's true.
so cool.
That's
No, yeah.
100% the truth. Yeah. When camels stand up, they stand up with their front legs first, and then or no, like their back legs first. They leave their front legs. So like
Yeah.
they stand up like with their front legs like tucked underneath them.
So downward
you
dog.
lean like way forwards when you're like on it, about to like ride.
hold
the
on to
camel.
the hump.
So no, if you don't hold on, people spill off the front.
The
Like,
yoga pose.
I'm dead
yeah,
serious.
Where you're
yeah.
like stretching your back out, kind of like the cats do.
They have
yeah.
they actually have like a little handle that you hold on to, and it's like specifically just for when
built
the camel.
into the
like-
camel.
No, it's like on the.
Built.
Yeah, it's the hump.
Build a camel
Josh.
work?
No, they have like a handle on the saddle, and you hold it when it stands up. But yeah,
Well, I was supposed to be wrapping
camel
up
riding,
the show, but
dangerous than
somehow,
you think.
somehow we got the camels. But yeah, I'll push for this again. The Morning Men here was great.
Morning Men.
Fantastic.
Morning Men.
We'll see you back after spring break. Have a safe and fun spring break. We'll see you.